Off topic. So, welcome everybody. We are going to be working on some game development. We're going to be doing JavaScript. We're not going to be doing Node or anything. I mean, we may use Node. We're going to probably leverage Node, but the point is static HTML, just JavaScript site. So something you could basically host for free. Heck, maybe we could just host this for free on a GitHub Pages site. I don't know. Like,
We totally
I haven't
could,
really
yeah.
thought about it, but the nice thing about going with a static site instead of something that actually runs with a backend, if you are building something like that, you used to have to pay for hosting for backend sites, whether they were static or not, because, well, hosting was always expensive no matter what it was. But now, every service has a way of just hosting simple free static sites. So we're going to build our JavaScript app that can be hosted for free. So why not? Well, Pookie, we do have fun with C# code sometimes, and that's why that message still says that. But no, today we're going to do something different. We're going to be having fun with JavaScript code. We do that sometimes too. Back the stream, we used to do that plenty.
It seems to be what we always do when I'm here.
Yeah, we do it. We've done a lot of JavaScript. We did some without you. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, I didn't new line that. So
Having fun with JavaScript and
there we
just
go.
replace the and with a question mark. Having fun with JavaScript? Question mark.
There we go. It's possible. There we go.
There we go. Perfect.
I should have left the one in there. Can you even see the bottom part? No, you can't. All right, we're gonna shrink it. Font getting smaller. Hang on, I think we've lost almost all the chat by this point.
Yeah.
You know what? Screw it. I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. We're done. Having fun with JavaScript. All right. Hey, Stoolpenner.
Okay.
Hey, Wheatlol. Welcome. I mean, look, we could do those kinds of things sometimes. But today we pulled in Guy Royse, which means we're going to do HTML. So as you've probably seen, we have a site. Look at this wonderful site. It is running
Hi.
on web page. Let's open up site. Look, Guy can type in here too. Site says hi. There we go. All right, so that's what we've got. Is a website that has nothing here, so good starting point. Where do we want to start? Do we want to start with standard HTML page?
Yeah, we probably should. That'd be a good place to start. So, yeah, because does everyone know what we're building? Have we announced what we're going to build? Or are we going to surprise them?
I put it in the title, so they might know. But yeah, we can tell
I guess
people.
it is. Yeah.
So we were trying to think like, what's a game that we could make that we could eventually teach a machine learning AI to play? And I was like, well, let's start with something kind of simple. That's kind of fun that everybody knows. And so we were like, all right, let's do Minesweeper. But we are like, okay, we'll just do that in the browser. I think Guy also had another funny idea. Because we were talking about how do we want to implement this? And I believe you were the one that suggested we could use tables and just like make everybody's brain explode. If you don't remember, Guy and I did this series at this point years ago where we did inefficient data structures in JavaScript. We're probably going to continue that series, but we have a lot of fun, just doing non-standard stuff. Because why build the thing that you would build like normal? Like it's like let's have some fun with it, right? And I think from looking at how you would build it with a bunch of tables, it's the same basic concept that you would use with anything else, but it's just kind of trolly and fun. So, right up our alley.
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
exploding brains.
yes. So we need a table.
Yeah. Let's make a table. Let's.
How big is the standard Minesweeper screen?
I don't know.
I don't have Windows, so I can't launch Minesweeper, but you have Windows, and you can totally launch Minesweeper.
No, I can't. They haven't included that in forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we haven't had Minesweeper in years.
Use Windows.
I know. Why would I even be on Windows if I can't get Minesweeper? This is dangerous. I'm doing an image search on screen. Okay, hang on. Here's the standard board. This is the normal game right here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that not? Wait, is it really 9 and not 10? And did I miscount that? It
I
is.
googled it, and it says it's 8, 9, or 10.
This is showing 9 by 9. So we can do 9 or 10. It doesn't matter. That's probably about the same. Why don't we do 10 by 10 just because, ew, 9 is weird.
Yeah, 10
12
by
by
10.
12? We could do 12 by 12. Yeah.
Let's do a multiple of 2. That way we can just bit shift.
Or yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's do 10 by 10. That way, when we're thinking about like the grid,
Yes. Yeah,
because
yeah.
what's going to end up happening is we're going to end representing the state of the Minesweeper game in a big array, and at some point we may have to divide that array into rows, and then be able to do a mod 10 and be able to just look at the last digit. Might be easier for us humans
Yeah.
to think about. So we got an index.html, and I'm going to go ahead and create an app.js.
Okay, sounds good.
So we have a file for that as well. And then, so where do we want to start? We don't, have we thought about how we're going to write tests for this? Or are we just going to, test in production?
That's a good question.
Are we going to rise up and seize the means of testing in production?
So we were planning on, like we had talked about doing like node versus a static site, but I mean we could just leave this in production for now. But we could have, I mean we still can, like spin up a playwright, suite of tests or something like that pointed at it. That could just click on the things that we were expecting, for example.
Yeah.
If people would be interested, like that could be a way we could test it. Because we could toss that in a folder and then basically just say this is the tests folder, and we don't deploy that part. Yeah, you like Katrina's suggestion of just testing in production. Yeah.
Yeah. I like come on, at least let the users pick the numbers.
Pick the numbers, a number of columns and rows. Yes, they will eventually, but we got to start somewhere.
Yeah. So I think we could probably just have a table here, and then maybe we have JavaScript code that creates the table for the size of the. How much JavaScript do we want to have versus HTML in place? Because like presumably, if you want a harder or an easier game, you would initiate the game with like its dimensions and.
You need dimensions and also percentage of the spaces that are going to be mines.
Or just raw number of mines.
Sure. Yeah, this is the same concept, right? However you define it. Yeah. As a percentage or a specific number.
Yeah. And so we probably just create an empty table here, and then write some JavaScript that actually fills it up with stuff.
We have an empty table.
All right.
I gave it an ID, so we could find it from the JavaScript easily.
Yeah.
Now, alternately, we could, bind it or something like that, but that's up to you.
Let's just use an ID for now.
Okay.
I've got an app.js. We need to let's you want to start with a Minesweeper class or a game class or something like that?
I would game class.
Okay.
Yeah, let's make a game. Export
class game.
Class game.
Export.
Yeah.
Class game. Curly brace.
Sounds
and then it'll have a constructor, which will have let's see, be a width. You want height, width, and number of mines.
Yeah, so we're going to require that this be a rectangle, just for clarity here. Before someone goes, come on, let the player pick the shape. Yeah, I know, right? Like, let us pick the shape. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's complaining, of course, on mine here that it says it's got the 3 little dots of unhappiness on my variable names because they're not being they're not pointing to anything. But so what do we need to do? We need it to
yes, triangle or right. And yes, we are intentionally recreating something. Normally, if you want to play Minesweeper, don't build your own Minesweeper game. Just go, play the one that exists somewhere else already. And if this were Python, you would again just import in Minesweeper, or you could pick C Minesweeper or any of the other, or any of the other dozen Minesweeper libraries that you can just import because Python. Do we want to create like fields for like this dot height or something?
We might. Well, I think the first thing we need to do is grab a hold of the table and start using the height and width to create rows and columns.
I was thinking
And
we hang on to these just in case as like safeties, so that
yeah,
we know the shape and can determine if things are out of bounds. So that's why I was thinking hang on to the width. For number of
yeah.
mines, I don't know whether or not we're going to want to keep that or not.
Let's do this. You familiar with that syntax?
No, what are you doing, man?
That is the new JavaScript private.
Is this a hashtag guy?
Now yeah, hashtag height. Yeah.
Hashtag height. Yeah, I
No,
get
that
it.
makes it private.
We're hip and cool.
Yeah.
This dot hashtag width.
I've been doing TypeScript all week, so I keep wanting to put types after the values.
Oh yes, yeah. So I've been in C# world for a little while now. It's been a while since I've been back in
Yeah.
JavaScript, and even when I was, I had to work with a little bit of TypeScript again recently too, which is also fun. Got to work in Python also, so that's always good. If poor underscore. I
Yeah. And then
Hey, I underscore the private variables in C#. Thank you very much.
I use M underscore because I'm old school.
Because you're out of the Java world, you mean?
No, no, no. I don't do that, but I do have
Yeah.
the deep C roots in Microsoft
Well,
land. So
yes.
the
Yes,
whole
there's
Hungarian notation thing was something I learned early
well,
in my
because you
career.
needed to let people know that was a member. Now,
Yeah. And just the underscore is sort of the last vestiges of Hungarian notation that's still
it's
sticking
the
around.
minimum. The thing is, it's not. I don't mind that one. Now,
I don't
I
either.
would be okay with getting rid of it if I knew that the editor highlighted um, private variables differently. Like if it slightly tinted the color or something like that to let you know. I just want a visual indication. And whether that comes from syntax, because I've heard people go before, oh, you don't need it because it's like, okay, yes, if I knew that everybody on my team were running an IDE that syntax highlighted the private variables, then I'd be like, yeah, I'm on board. Get rid of the underscores. Exactly. As Coded Beer said, it's shorter than this and does the distinction. So having to write this height equals height instead of just saying underscore height equals height, it's much nicer to be able to just underscore and then you don't have to use the thises. Okay, so we
Yeah.
want to build up a board. Do you want to
Yeah.
just do it with for loops?
I think for now that'll probably work. Do we want to pass? Actually, you know what? We need one other thing here. I think we should pass in the ID of the. Um,
Into the constructor?
yeah. That way we can keep that nice and tidily separated. Maybe
Grid ID?
that'll work. Um,
I kind
and
of
then
like
up here
calling
we.
it a grid, even though we know that it is a table, and that is a word that means basically the same thing. I would like to not embed into the code the fact that our board is a table.
And then we can just call that.
Whoops. So this is so we'd start with rows. So I'll make row index. That
And
didn't quite build the way I wanted, but it's fine.
and I need to fix my. I've got my VS Code for 2-character indent, and you've got yours set for 4. So let me adjust that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I mean, I forgive you for using wrong standards.
You're just doing like 20 spaces there. Yeah. So I've been toying with some controversial thoughts on indentation lately. It'll probably upset chat. Build board. You know what? We should actually pass in all of these values, shouldn't we? I guess we don't need to pass that one in because these got saved. Grid ID is the only
Yeah,
one we need here. So this one we have. So this is the row length, and the number of
yeah,
rows is the height, right? So it's
yeah. Do you want to call it rows and columns instead? That might be a little more
sure.
semantic. Okay.
How's that? And
Uh,
we can leave the other original variables alone.
yeah, that's
So
fine.
this is rows. And we don't need this thing that it put in for us. So
We
this row
do
index
need
there.
say const table equal document.
Dashes for indentation? Oh, someone's wondering what I was thinking. Yeah. Yes, tabs versus spaces is another big one. I currently don't have visible white space turned on, but I frequently do, which might be what
I
chat's
almost
talking
always have
about.
it on.
Call index. All right, and then this is going to go out to this dot
Columns.
columns. Okay.
And I've went ahead and got us the
Yeah,
document from the grid there.
yeah,
And
you
I
grabbed the
just realized
table.
my door to my office is open. Let me close it real quick. There we go.
Monsters
Let someone
could
come in
find their
and
way in.
say,
Oh, okay.
well, my son poked his head in, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so I have I the door, well, shouldn't be anyway coming in because there's no kids in the house right now. But I on my door I have a little stop sign. Like I've got it's got a stop on a go side, and I flip it to the stop, and then my kid knows not to come in. So like if
Yeah.
I'm on stream or something like that, and I have kids wandering into the stream, because like the stop sign. So like he'll come to the door and he'll knock it. Dad, can I come in? Like, just funny.
Wheatwall's tab space pattern looks good. I think the heretical one though is really the no spaces indentation standard.
Oh yeah, yeah. No spaces. That's what you do. You know what?
It
We
just
have curly braces. We could put all this in one line. What are
Yeah,
we
we could.
doing? That's what curly braces
Yeah,
are for.
I mean, that's an extra byte that we don't need to be using.
Yeah. Why are we wasting this? Let's let's go. All right. So we got this. So at this point we should be able to create the
Yeah,
objects, I guess, in the table.
yeah. So we need to create table rows and then table datas within those table rows. Right. Well, no, a table has like a head, a body, and isn't there a T body and T head and stuff like
I
that? A
don't think we
fed.
need those parts though, right? We should just need to create the rows, right?
Um, I think you're right.
Should just be able to make the TRs and TDs, right?
Let's just try real quick.
Yeah.
We've got a web browser here. We can just find out. We'll go put yo in there,
Yeah.
and
It should be all we need. It's just that.
word in there, and then let's take a look at it. It doesn't seem to care. So yeah, we'll just do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we got to create a row. So up here we're gonna have to say const
Yo
row.
word. Okay.
Yeah. Equals documents dot create elements, right?
Yep. We should be able to do a
And it's pass in tr.
yep. And then I think we can just append it, right?
And then table dot.
Sorry.
Is it?
I think it's append child.
That sounds right.
Is that it?
And the semicolon there. Well, let's go ahead and code it up.
Hang on,
we'll
let's
find
do
out.
this real quick.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest that.
Yeah, let's make a TD.
And this we'll call this cell.
Okay, yep, call it cell, you do it.
And then we'll say row.append.
Yep.
There we go.
So this should create it, but we need to put something in it.
Yeah, so cell dot, what is it, intertext?
Probably. That sounds right.
Intertext equals
0. Just put in a 0.
No.
Oh no. Okay, here comes the jokes. All right, get ready, chat. This is gonna be a knee slapper right here.
It's not gonna be a knee slapper, but we can put.
There you go. Okay, that works even better. Well done. Well done. Excellent work.
It occurred to me that there's a whole bunch of icons in emojis for all the Minesweeper things we'd want.
Yeah, that can work.
So we should just use emojis.
Yeah, what were we possibly thinking?
And so,
Let's, do you want to toss
well,
app.js into the page and call it?
except we don't have anything to call yet, so we need and it's just exporting a thing. I actually wonder if the contents we've just coded in here should really be in game.js, and then app.js should import it, and just have a little bit of startup code.
You know what? I agree with that, but let's try running it first.
Yeah. So, but we still need to create an instance of a class. So somewhere down here, we need to write some code that's going to do something. So say
Yep.
const game equals
Yep.
new game, and then we're going to say 10 by 10 by 10.
Okay, so 10%
By
mines, and then we called it grid.
is that what that's
Yeah.
the value on there? Grid.
Yep, just like that.
And
Perfect.
then that should actually do something. And then you've updated the index.html to.
I did not yet.
Okay, so we can do a. I'm in there.
Yep. Okay.
We can go to
Hands off the keyboard.
What is it? Script. I can never remember the syntax.
Yeah, it's script and then src. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Go ahead.
oh, sorry. No, I didn't touch it. It helped. VS Code helped. I
I'm
wasn't even
helping.
touching the keyboard. Yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, you hit quotes.
Defer.
Cool. Both of your cursors need double quotes. Yeah, defer will make it wait until the end. For anybody that doesn't know modern JavaScript at all, that basically says run this at the end of the file, and you don't have to put it at the end of the file. So if you remember the old days of JavaScript where you'd be like, let's make sure this runs at the end so it doesn't slow down the page. It's like, oh, this is actually a good idea. Just tell it to wait to run
I see
this.
someone in chat I need to ban. It just a rando showed up in chat and it did spam. I'm gonna ban them.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. Yeah, that works. Oh, I had like 3 mods in here. None of them banned that person yet? Thanks, Guy.
Well, I wasn't able to ban them, but I deleted the message.
Oh, that works too.
So
You should have been able to ban them. You
it
have
was
the power.
Pokemon DGC, so Victor Golf. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, no worries. You banned them? Excellent. Good.
All right.
Spammers get banned.
See you later, Pokemon Victor Golf Charlie.
All right. Let's get rid of this stuff in here.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. I'm going to restart the server.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
And let's see. Yeah, let's see if this does a thing.
Well, I'm not seeing mine, so I don't think it's running, but let's have a look. Boop. We got errors in the console.
Unexpected token export.
That's a valid complaint.
Because we'd have to do the type of module thing, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Isn't there?
Yeah. Admittedly, I usually just start with a node site that already has all this stuff done, and then I don't have to do it. So we need to do an export somehow.
Well, for now, what we can do is this: is get rid of the exports because we're all in one big file, and that'll at least prove out that the code we've written so far is working.
Script type equals module. Here, let's try that.
What'd you do?
I added type equals module on there to see if that would get rid of it. And now I get a new error, but that's good. New errors are good.
Yeah. So I went in and made the and not export a thing because it doesn't need to. But and now we'll put it back and see. Private field rows must be declared in an enclosing class. So that doesn't work the way I think it does. It probably needs to be defined up here.
Yeah, very likely.
Rows, columns. Let's see if that makes it stop complaining about it. Yeah.
It still complains about it on my end. Hang on, let me make sure it's saved.
There we go. I just did 2 of them to see if the error changed, and it did. Num of mines.
I'm still getting the error. You're not getting the error?
I am too, but I'm also getting.
Oh, now I'm getting a new one. Cannot read properties of null. Append child. So something came back null at line 19. What do we got? That is the table. It didn't find the table.
I passed in grid.
Oh, but that doesn't have the ID on it. You needed to pass this.
Oh, yeah.
So if that's a
Yep,
selector, then
that's
yeah.
right.
Hey, there we go. Mines.
Hey,
Haha.
it's mine-tastic.
Yes. All right, and we're done. We build the unwinnable game of Minesweeper because you have to play the first move. So since you have to reveal one before it'll declare a winner, you automatically lose. Congratulations, everyone. We're done. All right. Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see you. Yep. All right. Bye, everyone. Yep.
That's right, Vinny. Ship it.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Yes, exactly. All right. So step one
Cool.
completed. All right. That builds a board. All right. What do we want to do next then?
I want to take game and put it in its own
Okay. Yeah.
file.
So I made game.js, which we probably want to transfer over there, and then app is going to import in game, I assume.
Yeah, I'm
Is
on it.
you're gonna
Export.
okay? I was gonna say yeah, import, and we should just be able to import like game out of there, right? Yep, game
Yep.
out of dot game. Perfect.
And that should still do the same thing.
All right, let's have a look at this one. So you pulled that out of that spot and put this in here, and that looks good. Excellent. Okay, so everything's saved. Let's load
Uh,
up the game.
given a 404 on game because I need to apply to game.js.
Yeah, because we don't have really a nice back end on this right now.
Yeah.
We don't have all the extra pieces that'll be like, yeah, we're running this, and we're not running any fancy frameworks here, Guy. There we go.
And
I do the
it
same
works.
thing with like aliases and stuff like that. I love having
Yeah.
aliases because it's like, oh yeah, just an alias to this folder, and it's like, yeah, it's super nice. No, we don't get any of that here. This is vanilla. All right.
Well,
So
what it means is then is in this little app.js we can create click handlers, and then we can call methods on the game to click at a location. Am I making sense?
so you're thinking we do a like click handlers in that spot. I was thinking we put buttons there.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did want to do
Hey,
buttons, didn't
leading
you?
lady, welcome. Yeah, no nice back end on this. We're just doing it just basic, client side JavaScript app thing. We
all
could
client
build
all
a
the
back
time.
end, yeah. We're just having fun. All right, so we have our grid. We create this. Why don't so you were thinking click handlers and not buttons?
Well, I mean, it ends up being the same whether we have buttons or not. We still have to have a handler.
Well, yeah, but what I mean is like, do we want to make it a do like I guess it really doesn't matter whether or not they look like buttons or not. You know what I was just realizing would be the funniest thing in the world? What if you
In the
built
world, eh?
yes, what if you built a Minesweeper game that didn't actually place the mines until you started playing? And then like when you clicked it randomly decided whether to be a blank or a number and then started inserting in the information like as you went. So like figuring it you'd be like normally you think, yeah, it's placed all the mines at the beginning, but it's like, no, actually that first click, that's when it, adds some of the information. It goes from being an unknown space and how much it has to have to being like, oh yeah, this is a 3. Okay. One of those spaces around it, like some of these spaces have mines, and it's just following its own rules. It would be like the trolliest minesweeper ever because it hasn't actually placed them. It's just sort of playing a game with you almost. Maybe I shouldn't
You
have
know,
given the game away before we built that.
yeah. Well, then we could build a model that is the AI for Minesweeper that actually doesn't play the game. It plays against you.
Yes, exactly. Just making it
And so
super hard. Like as many spots where it can, where it's like you're gonna have to do coin flips, and there's not enough information to determine.
it could learn the patterns with which you play and then place mines in ways that would trick you.
That'd be good.
That sounds hard.
All right. So instead of this, what do we want to put in?
So
Uh,
I think, well, we're creating a game here. Do we? And so we create a row, and then we create the this game class is like aware of HTML, and so because it's got to update the content.
yeah.
Do we want
So
to break it apart and create like a cell class so that we got like a cell that can be clicked, sort of thing? Or it feels like that might be that's a premature
it
optimization, I
feels
think.
yeah. Well, okay. Let's think about this for a second. The cell class seems like the obvious thing that you would create because you end up with a couple of pieces of information need to be stored, which is has the user clicked on it yet? Is there a flag there? In case we implement the ability of flagging stuff, and what is the value of that space? So essentially, you
Yeah,
just need what's the real value and whether or not it has been revealed. And that doesn't feel to me like you need a whole class for it. Now, if
yeah,
we
it might
want
be
to,
overkill.
yeah, if we decide to make the game more complicated than that, then yeah, I could see it. Hey, thanks, Sean. Uh,
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
always nice to have a whole bunch of just spammy dinosaur emotes jumping in on the chat too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey, Sean, are we going to see you at Code Match this year or not?
yeah, I will be at Code Mash, so we might see you there. I'm not sure
Yeah,
who's
shall
who's
I?
making it out this year.
Yeah.
Uh, Guy, are you going to be at that conference in Texas in January?
No, I'm not.
Uh,
I had to pick and choose. So I'll be at Code Mash, and then 2 weeks later, I'm going to NDC London. And if I
uh,
did that conference, that would be 3 weeks on the road in
that
a
would be
row.
three in a row. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got the two, and that's it. I'm not heading to
Yeah.
NDC. Not
I
crossing
got,
the
well, yeah, I've
ocean.
got, yeah, I'm actually, then 2 weeks after NDC London, I'm going to, I'm speaking at J Focus in Stockholm. So it's going to be
Oh,
like
so you
week,
are
week, yeah. So
you're
week home,
yeah.
and then go to a conference, week home, go to a conference in Europe, week home, go to a conference in Europe.
Okay, so do you have your ASCII art up? Can you get us an emote for like a box or something?
Okay. Yeah, sure, I can do that. Let's
You
go
get just a
ahead
gray
and,
square or something?
I know it all. Oops. No, that's not what I want to type at all.
I promise we know
Uh,
how keyboards work, everyone.
a keyboard real good. Okay, so
Yeah.
we need several things. We need a flag. What flag should we use? I think we should use this little golf course flag.
Oh, that looks
Hopefully that
great.
showed up.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah,
need
perfect.
what's the other symbol we need? We probably need a mine.
You
Um,
have a bomb, which maybe
we got
can
a
be your
bomb. Um, do we want to do the numbers? I think there's those like numbers in
what's
circles.
the
Here, let's do these. 1, 2, 3,
those work,
4,
yeah.
5, 6, 7, and 8. And I guess maybe a 0.
I don't think we need a zero. I think it's just a blank, isn't it? Doesn't it? I guess it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what we use for it.
Is there a blank keycap? Let's use these ones.
Sorry.
There we go. Did they not all come through?
No, this came in kind of weird.
Yeah, emojis are. Okay, so we'll try that again. There's
Okay,
that.
I'm gonna get my keyboard off.
Oh, that's a weird combining and closing keycap. That is totally not what I want.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work
Ow.
right.
These will work. Those are ugly.
They're coming in wrong on my end, also.
Yeah. So we'll go back to these things here because they look fine.
Yeah, these are okay. Um,
And there's 1 through 8. We got a bomb. We got a flag, and then we need a blank. Something for unclicked, and then something for clicked and clear. Um,
well, we could have maybe the
well, so the numbers are going to be in the clear spaces anyhow. So some of the clear spaces just won't have a number, I guess.
yeah. So maybe we do this. How's this? The gray square that I've got there, do those come through on your end? Gray square needs
Uh,
to get clicked on. Blue square is cleared already, because that way it matches with these numbers.
okay.
Yeah, flag and a square. Thanks, Wheatlol. Exactly. Those are what we're thinking. Oh, Wheatlol sent us what's probably a better flag than the one we're using. The
Yeah,
golf flag's kind of
I'm
fun.
inclined to agree.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, looks like Wheatlol sent the same one I was using there. Okay, so the standard one we're saying is going to be this gray one. So when we create the board, it's originally gray like that. So let's have a quick look. I just saved it.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
All right, so that looks
Hideous.
grid-like.
I
Yeah,
mean,
might need some
fantastic.
styling.
I think I mean, we might want to just increase the font size on everything. Like just increase the font size for the table.
Okay, yeah. We should be able to just do that right on the table, right? Style.
I mean, if that's how you want to live your
Let's
life, yeah,
pull it.
sure.
Yeah, pull it into CSS, but let's mess with it here. What do we want? Like,
Yeah, let's just see how that looks.
I mean, I guess I could have done it in the in the dev tools and achieved the same result, right? But that is way more readable. I kind of feel like we need it. You know that optical illusion where you see dots in the grid? You know that one? I'm
Yeah.
seeing that one. Is everybody else seeing that? That's what I'm getting when I look at this. Hey, Fuel Snable. Hey, we got.
I believe that's called UX.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Fuel Snable.
All right. Great. Yeah.
We meant
Ah.
to. Sorry, we didn't mean to. We should have warned you in advance that watching the stream may induce an epileptic seizure.
Apparently. Okay. All right then. Let's shift these over. So we put these here, but we don't have any information here.
Yeah. So what's next? What's next? We got
We
each
need to
cell is going to have some data associated with it. Where do we want to store the data? Because it's going to have whether there's a
exactly.
mine. Actually, really, this is sort of like the game of life.
Yeah.
Because
So
each cell is either going to have a mine or it's not, and it's going to be revealed or it's not. And then the number we display, or the icon we display, is based on those two pieces of data.
uh,
Is that a thing?
yeah. Here, let's try this. All right. Let's reload our page. Hey, thanks, Katrina. Much appreciated. Welcome back to the Dev Chatter Chatosaurus emote fun. Let's have a
So,
look.
yeah, I can't see your screen, so in order to look at
Go.
the,
Well, you can inspect element on the HTML and have a look. They all have a data number 0.
inspect, I remember data set. Now it's been forever since I've thought about it.
It's just the data. It's the data attributes that we have on HTML.
Yeah, I'd forgotten they existed.
You're one emote short. Fire or boom boom. Yo, didn't we have the bomb at one point? We have the bomb.
We get a bomb.
We have a bomb. We could do the fire, I guess, if you want, as an exploding thing. Maybe all the spaces around it get fire when you blow it up.
Like this one right there.
Yeah, or that one. Yeah, that works too.
That feels more mine-like.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So we've got, so the data set that we'd have in there wouldn't be the number, it would be whether it's revealed or not, and that would be a Boolean, and it would be whether there's a mine there or not, and that would be a Boolean, right?
Well, what I was thinking is the number would be the number of mines around it. So we could do this and say.
I think that's a rendering question, is because the two pieces of data that then release the
Well,
information.
we can figure it out at runtime based on the neighbor if you want, or we can track it. So the advantage to putting it, well, it's whether you want to have the spaces have to determine their neighbors to decide what to display or not. I kind
Right.
of feel like we should, like, since they don't move, we can essentially figure it out upon creation, right? So
That's true. Yeah. So we could basically denormalize the data for runtime
exactly. Now,
because performance.
yes. So what we can do is if we so we need to know where the bombs are, right? If we know where the bombs are, we can increase all the numbers easily.
Okay. So well, we have a number of bombs being passed in.
Whoops.
Um,
So what we need to do, so let's create the grid first. Here's my thought. Let's create the grid. We'll initialize it with
yeah.
zeros, right? Everything's created with zeros. There are no bombs.
Then we'll place a bunch of random bombs, and then when we place them, we'll update the numbers.
Exactly. Every time you place a bomb, you go to the neighbor, you go to every neighbor, and you increase its number. Now, what that does mean is that a bomb record is going to have a number as well, but that becomes a visualization detail, right? So because when you're placing the bombs, if you just go in order, you won't know whether or not you're gonna update that one as a bomb in a moment, because it might be the next bomb you place, but it doesn't matter if you incremented its number. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, when we place a bomb, we'll increment the numbers of all the bombs around it,
All the spaces around it, yes.
all the spaces around it.
And whether it's a bomb
And
or not, we don't care because if we incremented the number, it doesn't matter. If it has bomb, we show a bomb. If it doesn't have a bomb, we show a number.
yeah.
Hey, welcome Raiders. We got the Code
We
Rush
got a
crew
raid.
coming in.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, Code Rush.
Yeah. Was Mark doing something fun? I hope Mark was doing something fun. Knowing
Yeah.
Mark, he was doing something fun.
I'm sure Mark was doing something fun. The question is, are we?
Well, that's an obvious answer, guy. We're doing
Clearly,
something
we're having fun
ridiculous.
with JavaScript.
Yeah, it says it right there. And if I know one thing, it is that nothing on the internet is ever a lie.
That's right.
I read
Everything you
about
read on
that
the
on the
internet is
internet.
true. Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. Welcome Edmund. Freezing installs. Wait, is that what Mark was doing? And welcome Mark. Hopefully you had a good stream. Welcome everyone. We are actually doing static HTML and JavaScript today. Yeah, exactly. I heard it on the internet. It must be true. Welcome to the stream. If you don't know, my name is Brendan. That guy up in the corner is Guy. You know,
Hi,
because I
I'm
called
Guy.
him Guy.
Yeah.
See, normally when people say Guy, they're like, "What? You using it? You like? No, 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 no. This guy is Guy. He's Guy.
Yeah.
This
It's Guy
Brendan
with
is
capital
Brendan.
G.
Yes.
Yeah. I can usually hear the capital G when people say the word Guy versus the name Guy.
Okay, so let's
skill that you develop over years of being named Guy.
So Guy, we got the structure here.
Yes.
Why don't we do a quick bomb placement out here?
Yeah, so we've built the board. We need to place the bombs.
Decide where bombs go. Now, if I were doing this in C#, what I would do is I would make a quick maybe enum or something like that of the number of indexes we have available. So something of size row height, row columns, right?
Yeah.
And then I'd make a quick because we're working with small amounts here. So like, yeah, is it mildly wasteful? Sure, but not that bad. And then I would just say like order by, and then do like a select new or something like that, and then just say like it's effectively shuffling a list of indexes into our collection. Yes, Edmund, we're building Minesweeper. And then once I've got the shuffled collection, just take the number of mines they said to have, right? But I don't know what the best approach for that would be in JavaScript.
So you want to get, since we got a 10 by 10 grid, then we have 100 unique elements, shuffle them and place bombs in the first 10. That's what you're saying.
Yep.
I don't know. Is there a way to get a random sample from a set of things in JavaScript?
I don't know, but I'm going to ask the internet real fast.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I can ask the
How
internet
to
if you want
get
me
a
as well.
random number of elements from an array. Yes.
That's probably going to say use Lodash.
2 lines. Array sort. Yeah. See, array sort by random. That's what I did. And then just grab that number and then just slice off the number. So this is exactly what I described in C#, but in JavaScript. Which, yes, that's going to do the same thing. And then we just need to make a list of the indexes, right?
Yeah. Oh, let's copy pasta that into here. Yeah, we've done that. Excellent. And so we got to create our array first, though. So our array is going to be.
Yeah, can you make the array and I'll work on tweaking this?
Yeah, I'm thinking about what the array is going to look like.
Okay.
Cells. We'll call it cells equals.
Oh, you could can you just expand out the well no, because we didn't really make them when we were doing that.
We need to say equals new array. Can with yeah, so new array of the size rows. And then can we call that fill? It with new array this dot. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, I'm gonna do this the stupid way, and then I'll try to be smart later.
Okay, sounds good.
For const, not const, let row. We have row index already.
I mean, technically, if you want to build this, we could just build this inside of the other for loop. You could just put your array in there.
Oh
That
yeah,
way you
that's a
don't
good
loop
idea.
twice. So just create the array in there.
We'll just call it const cells equals an array.
Because we could you effectively just make a
and then for each row we'll say we'll do this after the table. So
I would do
cells,
it in. Wouldn't you do it in the
push.
cells instead of the? Are
well,
you're gonna do an array of arrays?
Yeah.
No, I was gonna just do a static one.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then, do you know how you find the columns and the indexes?
With an object, yeah.
Well, no. What I was gonna say is you just take whatever the index is, and then you just grab you just use division and modulus because we're working with integers. Well, is that gonna work in JavaScript?
I was just going to do this.
I know what I would do in C#. I would just do that. But yeah, oh yeah, you could just shove the column index and the row index right in there. Yeah, that works perfectly. Excellent. So we'll grab a column and a row index.
Right.
Perfect.
And now we've got a bunch of cells.
Yeah, so now we can say cells.sort. This gets us our collection.
This is a terrible name. Will probably be cells to be mined or something like that.
Sure. Yeah, rename it to that. Like that. Well, paste if you want to make sure I didn't typo it.
I'm putting it up there and there. There we go.
Bomb indexes equals, and then hang on. We're gonna do the awful and put it all in one line.
Yeah, I was just going to do that. Yeah, there we go. And then we slice from 0 to number of mines.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, I think so. That looks right.
Bomb indexes is that.
And now we can.
Now the problem is, how do we get those?
What we should do is we should do this at the beginning of this function, and then in our loop we can say, "Are we at a bomb index?" And we can just set it to a bomb when we create.
You know what? We did this totally wrong, Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. There we go. The row index, the column index, and the cell goes in the object because then we can just set the number and the bomb properties when we set it.
There we go.
So let's do this with the cell object that we've got at that point. So then this just becomes a for each loop on the bomb indexes.
Actually, we don't even need to do that. We can just do dot because we can chain this one more time.
That's true. We could. You're right.
Just go ahead and get rid of
Yeah,
that.
you go ahead and do that. Yep, excellent. Perfect. And then here we can just, yeah, bring that up. Thank you. So now I wrote this as cell, but we're going to change this real quickly to cell data.
We still need to set the number. Well, no, we don't need to set the number. We do need to set the number to 0 and bomb to false in the loop up top.
Oh, yeah, and we'd be overriding them here. You're right. You're right. Because we do need the zeros even when they're not. So this would be cell data set number equals 0, bomb equals false, and then here is where we set bomb equal to true. Actually, we could set number to we could set number to 0, but it doesn't matter at this point. But then we need to get the neighbors. So we need to say it is cells to be mined, which we didn't mess with. So then it is at index.
I think
cell
sort
data.
actually is sort in place, or does it return a copy?
Go ahead and check that for us. We'll find out. So this is row index times this dot rows. No,
it
columns.
Sorts in place.
Dang it. Is there a version?
I mean, that joke is just unacceptable.
Yeah, wow, Fuel Snail. Well, that's good. Is there one that doesn't sort in place?
No, there's not. We could do a clone and sort. Is there a clone? Or was that a library I used?
All right, so this would get us the...
This is like, the problem with sort is it's like pre-functional JavaScript.
Cells to be mined, and then let's... Hang on.
I can think of a cheap. I can think of a really cheap way to clone.
What if we did this? Okay, do you do this in? Is this work in JavaScript? It does. It looks like. So let's grid metadata push the cell onto grid metadata. We need to create the row. So here's what I was thinking. So originally you were trying to make this as a two-dimensional array.
Yeah.
What if we do this two-dimensional array? When we make a two-dimensional array, it's not the ones to be mined. It's this one. So we said grid meta push. Oh, you were gonna do it this way. Yeah, this is actually a good idea.
Oh my god, it was a good idea.
Yeah. So if we push an array onto there.
I love how our styles are intermingling badly here too, because I have a bad habit of not using semicolons, and you do C# all the time, and so you have to use semicolons.
Yeah, exactly. So then we push these on at these points. So at the row index, you push on the cell, and that should be at the column index each time, as long as we pushed one of these on each thing, right? And this should put them in the correct order. So now at this point, we should have, what did I call it? Grid metadata? Grid meta? Grid meta at
grid meta.
Cell data dot row index, and then cell data dot call index. Right, and then that should get us the cell that we need to modify.
Yeah, and then that grid meta has the cell in it, right? Yeah, it has the cell.
So hang on, and then we need to say dot dataset dot number. Now the question is, does that stand as a number or a string? And I think it's a string, which is the real pain in the neck here.
It won't be that bad. We could just use a. we can just use a. I mean, JavaScript will let you add two strings together.
Oh, Wheatlaw has a
Yes, point 0.1 plus point 0.2, it does not equal point 0.3 in
yeah.
JavaScript because 32-bit floats.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, it's one of the big problems with JavaScript. Okay, so we need to get the neighbors, which means we need to get um this plus one. Oh, whoops. Plus one. And then this plus one. And then minus one. So
yeah, and then we
essentially
also need, yeah,
shift.
yeah. So we need to do all the things around it and increment them, but we need to make sure there's something there.
So maybe what we need to do is make a method that does this. You want to make a
Yeah.
function, maybe call it safe increment or something like that.
Um, hang on. Let me. I'm wondering if there's a way. I don't think it'll work. I was thinking we might be able to use like there's a um there's an equivalent to an Elvis operator in JavaScript now, where you do question mark dot. But I don't think that helps us here because if we get undefined back from one of the, like if we go for our row index is too big, JavaScript will gladly let us look beyond the end of an array and it'll just return null, right? Or return undefined. But if we try and access an array with a negative number, that's totally not going to work. So, um,
What if we did this and just put the check in here and said if row is greater than or equal to the uh,
this dot,
this
yeah,
dot rows, this dot rows, or column is greater than or equal to this dot row columns,
yeah, and that's a
and then or row is less than 0 or col is less than 0. Whoops. Yeah, thank you. Rows this, rows, column this, columns, or that, or that, or that. These are all the escape conditions.
yeah, and then we can call safe increments.
And it does this effectively. Hey! Code Rush is now rating again with one person. Mark is back.
Yeah. I love
Ah,
two
you
sounds.
can't. We have been trying to whoops. We've been trying to find a way to keep Mark from coming back, but every time, I don't know if we need fire damage or what, but like he seems to regenerate every time. I don't know what it is.
It's radiant damage, you know.
All right, so if we have cell data, cellmate, or is it grid meta? What do we need? Grid meta? I think that's the one we need. Grid
So
meta.
we're incrementing at a location. Yeah, this just needs to be row and column,
Yeah.
and then dot dataset dot number plus plus.
Yeah, but the question is, can we do that? I worry it's a string.
We're gonna find out. And
Yes,
then we just call,
exactly.
yeah.
Code with
Donner
Sean
Party
coming
of
in with the
12.
jokes. Yes. uh, so
That's a different kind of kata, I suppose, isn't it?
okay, so now we want to call this and pass that, and then instead of these, we're doing that.
Yeah. Comma cell.
Hang on. Cell? Is that what it is?
Or no.
No, it's grid meta.
Grid meta. Yeah. And then that's
I
the
left a couple of comma. I've got well, that one was
minus.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
I had a couple of those that I messed up when I was doing them, but that's fine. All right, so we got a 0, plus, and a minus. So this is shifted over 1. That is shifted over 1. All right, and then we got to do the top and the bottom, right? So these will be the zeros, and that's
Yeah.
going to be the plus and the minus.
And then
So
we don't
that
have a zero because that's unnecessary.
exactly, because that's the one we're
Yeah.
on. Should be the only one we're missing is doing the index that we're is doing the exact cell that we're on. You do not need to increment the one where the bomb is. It's shocking, I
Okay.
know. It's almost
Okay.
like it would always end up, displaying as a bomb regardless. Okay, so that should do our increments. Kind of a pain to do it that way, but that worked.
Do we need the bomb indices anymore?
Where?
Where we're assigning on line 39. I don't think we actually need to assign anything here.
No, we don't, because we're using them immediately as this.
Yeah.
Cells to be mined, we sort, slice.
And let's see.
Yeah, so essentially if we could do a select many, essentially doing the like expand of a multi-dimensional array into a list, that's what cells to be mined can be from grid meta. So if I assume that JavaScript has that.
As what?
JavaScript.
I was thinking about we may want to go ahead and change our icon depending on what we're doing here in the cell, just so that we can see that our thing does what we think it does.
Sure. Yeah, we can also. Did you check the page to see if it's updated?
Oh no, I haven't.
It does not update anything. There's no
Okay,
way I got a whole row of zeros.
it does not. Well, actually, it's totally plausible to get a whole row of zeros. I wouldn't expect all of them to be zeros,
Yes,
which is what
all of
we're
them
seeing.
as zeros. Yeah. Okay. So the question is, but we didn't get an error, did we? There's nothing. Nothing. Is there breaking? Oh, there's something broken in the console. Reading cannot
It's
read
probably saying,
property of undefined rows. Did I use rows without this?
that is because safe increment
Is not a member.
should be here. There we go.
Yeah, now it's a member. Now it can use it. Yep.
And then we call this dot safe increment.
Yep. We can get that. Hang on.
I got it.
You got it. Get.
There we go. Now let's try it.
And
we got.
hey, we got numbers.
Do we?
Yeah, I got numbers. Do a full refresh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got numbers now.
Cool.
And the question is, are there trues next to these? There are some trues. Here they are. And this one's the second to last one. There's a true. Okay. let's do a reveal so that we can see the thing for now.
Yeah, because I'm seeing the numbers are incrementing, which is good, and everything. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and let's just write a function called reveal that goes through all the. Let's put it on the.
I was just gonna call reveal all like this. Does this look good?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we still need to define.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah,
here.
we need to create it, but I just meant like that. Like calling that ought to work.
Yeah.
There you go, guy. Helped you out there, buddy.
There we go. Thanks. Appreciate it.
No problem.
This would just be a matter of looping through all the.
Maybe we should have made this .grid meta be a property.
It's starting to feel that way, isn't it? Are you doing that right now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm assuming I should do this in the constructor then. It just feels like I should create it as an array here.
Yeah, that feels good.
And then we'll just use it down here. So this becomes
this dot hash grid meta
dot
push. And down here on line 30, I'll get it.
Okay.
And then
That also means we don't need to pass it in here either.
correct. I'll take it off the arguments down here and just say this.grid meta.
I'm going to do magic. Get rid of it in there. You got it in this one? Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, let's reload the page and make sure we didn't mess any of that up while we did that. Okay, it does still seem to be working. Let's make our reveal all.
This.grid meta.
Grid meta.
Dot for each, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And then we got cell.
Yeah. This is it's like meta, isn't it? Because it's not the cells in here.
You call it cell data in the I think in the other one, right?
Probably.
Or no, this is a two-dimensional array, so it would be for each row and then for each column.
You're right.
And then it would be row dot for each.
Yeah.
And then it would be cell.
Is it just cells? Is that what I put in there?
I think it's actually cell data.
No, it's the cell. Because look, I just called data set right off of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so handy dandy arrow function there, and then
wait, for each, this would be for each row. This would be a column, wouldn't it?
Well, no, because we get a row, and so.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's how we created the array. We're going to find out really soon if they agree or not.
Here, let's make this real quick. So we just need to change the inner text of it, right?
Right. So be cell dot inner text equals various things based on the data, right?
Exactly. Yep. Let me bring these down so we have them. So then we're just saying
if
cell
dot
data set
dot bomb, or what do we call it?
What do we call it? Is bomb? Bomb?
Dot bomb. Bomb. Just dot bomb.
Okay. Dot bomb.
If it's a bomb, then
cell dot inner text
equals a bomb.
Equals bomb. Okay, that's the only one we need to check for now, right?
Let's do this. Okay, so we can sit there and say const nums equal that.
Yeah, that totally works. And then 0 is you need to put this at index 0.
Yeah. And then and then we can say else
cell dot inner text
cell dot inner text equals nums sub cell dot data sets dot number.
I think we called it number. Yeah, it's number.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think actually that's all we need, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that should give us this. So it should do an automatic reveal of everything. Rip. Didn't quite get it.
I bet you these emojis are 2 characters.
Oh, it could be. That could be.
So let's do this instead. Instead of making it a string, let's just make it an array.
Magician. It depends on how much JavaScript you want to learn. If you just want to learn to be dangerous with JavaScript, it doesn't take you all that long. If you want to, if you want to, learn JavaScript, I'll tell you, you can be learning forever. So if you mean, be an expert in JavaScript, you can work as long as you want. Yeah, so we could, classes, there's all kinds of stuff we could use for this. Whether or not they're revealed and whether it shows the value or not, and it could be like a layer of HTML where it's like, yeah, it's displaying this one and the other one's displayed none until it reveals, but you know, no worries. We're just kind of hacking some JavaScript together.
I think it's this particular choice of emoji is weird. Like if I replace them with numbers.
You're thinking it's gonna work?
Maybe.
But I'm worried our grid's gonna lose its shape.
Yeah, I am too.
What? Why did these not get things?
I meant to type 7, 8, 9, and I didn't. Or 6, and 7, and 8.
6, 7, 8. There we go. All right, let's save it and take another quick look. Okay, so we don't have a great view there. Did this one not work? Okay, that one works fine. Hang on. How about this one? Let me just put them in one at a time and see what happens. That works. Okay. So maybe something transferred over strangely from the live share one, because these are all going in. So I don't know what made them not work before, but they seem to be working for the moment. So I'm gonna try putting them in here. Are they working on your end too?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. So let's put these in. We'll see what we get. But it does look like it is generating the structure we want. And looking at those numbers, every time I refresh here, the numbers look accurate, right? That 3 has 3 bombs next to it. This 3 has 3 bombs. Yeah. This one has 3. This doesn't have any. Yeah.
The corners were computed correctly.
The corners up here, yeah. Yep, they were good as well. Yep, the structure looks like it works. And if we change the size, I'm assuming everything goes just fine. Where did we do the app.js? So if we said we wanted a few extra bombs, perfect.
Just a few.
Yeah. Well, I did the full bombs, right? Like, make sure it doesn't blow up on a full set of bombs. And there you go. This one's great. This is expert mode right here. I don't know what they're talking about with that expert mode they made. You just click this, here's an 8. Good luck. The 3's got to be exciting, though, right? When you're like
expert mode is this.
I need to refresh to see what you changed it to. 999. Yeah. Yes. Find the one. Find the safe spot. Can you do it?
Find the 8.
Yes. But if we were doing this at a bigger scale, then it probably works out pretty nicely too. Like this, just seems like when you know, oh hey, you found a bomb. Like you're not gonna find the bombs, right? 25 and 25. All right. So this looks like a big grid right here. This looks like, you know, the standard tough version of this. I mean, I'm hiding a few. I'm actually, just to tell you, chat, I'm not hiding any bombs down there behind my video. There's no bombs down there.
It's interesting that your icon is different than mine. It looks way better, actually, on your screen because of Windows. I've got these little, like, the emoji rendition of the ones on mine are not blue squares. They are like little. I don't know how to show you what it looks like, but they're little rounded keycap type things with a gradient effect in them and everything. Because that's just how the Mac is rendering that particular emoji.
Yeah, all of that is one of the things that I hate about emojis is that they are like when they're not the ones that are like specific to an application or things like that. Because our Twitch ones are great, you know, because they're gonna appear the same on every machine, but because every OS, every phone, every device displays them a little bit differently, it's just a nightmare. All right, let's shrink this grid back down to our very reasonable, manageable size, and that also seems like the right number of bombs for that one too.
Yeah,
somewhere around 10 bombs. All right, so
looking at created this, a map.
That works. What if we instead of starting it revealed, what do we have the initial data set? We have it as that. So let's not reveal. So we'll turn off the reveal. because we don't need it anymore, because we know that this grid is actually creating it. So now we need to make it so clicking one of these reveals it, right?
Yeah, I actually feel like we might be at a point where we've got a lot of hideous code here.
Yeah, you want to refactor?
Or I feel like we might be on the verge of refactoring here. Um, but I'm not sure what would be the best way to tackle that. I mean, we've kind of defined a cell, which is the cell data. Um, hmm. Like I feel
Yeah.
like we've got the grid data, the grid metadata, and then we got the cells to be mined, which
Mm-hmm.
might be able to be just something from the grid metadata, but not really. Actually, that's yeah.
So we got a nice question in chat. So it is sometimes a little bit difficult to figure out what parameters are available when you're in JavaScript because they don't have as nice IntelliSense as you would get in, say, like C Sharp. One of the things I really like about programming in C Sharp is because at development time, you get IntelliSense of your parameters and things like that, which you can get to some extent in JavaScript. And there are ways of improving the metadata that you get, but you are right that sometimes you just will not know what your parameters are. Wheatlaw's kidding, but not wrong about sometimes you just try
Yeah.
and the parameters there, the argument, like it takes it. So some of that is like the as you sort of implied, the like, is it just because you've mastered it? It's like kinda like, so when I used to write more JavaScript, you'd get kind of used to the patterns that libraries would use. So you'd be like, well, most of the time libraries will implement this, and so like, you're like, sometimes they accept it as a series of parameters, sometimes they take the version of it as an object and it just works, and you're like, yeah, okay, cool, and you just kind of guess. A lot of times you do need to check documentation on things to figure out which overloads are available. So there's a lot of reading documentation. Get really, really good at quick Google searches, right? Just and you'll often see me like jump to another screen because it's like I want to go check documentation real fast to go check the signature of a method, right? Because it is impossible to remember all the signatures of methods, especially if you're someone that works in multiple languages.
Yeah.
You'll notice that one of the things that Guy and I have been doing is I'm like, yeah, they've got an equivalent of this, right? And I'm like, I remember there being one. It's like, but I don't remember what it is. So like, one of the tips, if you're planning on being in programming for a long time, one of the tips that I would give to almost everybody is learn what kind of stuff is available and try to remember what exists, because that helps you to know what to search for. Because if you know, oh, I remember that they have an equivalent of the aggregate method, but I don't remember what it's called. And then you go and you look it up and you're like, oh, right, in JavaScript it's called reduce, right? And so then you're like, there we go, I found it. And so, because if you just search, you know, JavaScript aggregate method, right? And you would find it. So know it in one language, you can search for it in another language, all kinds of tricks like that. Uh, so yeah,
The other thing that helps a lot with that is, particularly if you're using libraries and you're using Node, there are TypeScript descriptors for all of the or type. I don't know what they call them, but they all have the .d extension on them. And VS Code's smart enough to look at those, and will give you some IntelliSense equivalents for a lot of JavaScript libraries that you use. And if you are using TypeScript instead of JavaScript, that then of course will enforce all those types as well.
yeah. Wheatlaw,
Um,
what comes back when you do JavaScript equivalent of C# select many? I now need to find out.
what's select many do in C sharp? I'm guessing it's you put it on an array and it will give you return the array containing things where you
You
set
get a
return true or something
multi-dimensional
like
array
that.
and you flatten it into a single-dimensional array.
Oh, that's flat map. Yeah.
Yeah, flat map. Yep, exactly. That's what I was like. Like this thing's got to exist. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, that's kind of the idea. Is so to give you a quick intro on because I don't know if we even did this at the beginning of the stream, but a quick intro. So I started programming in like the late '90s, like '97 ish time frame, and I did HTML and JavaScript and that sort of stuff, making web pages and stuff. I did a bunch of other just various programming, Basic, Python, C++, and picked those up, and I did a whole bunch. So I was a Linux and C++ and Python guy up until I ended up working with a Microsoft regional director and Microsoft MVP in like a .NET shop essentially. And I was like, okay, wow, C Sharp is amazing. I had used other languages. I'd used, um, uh, logical languages, all kinds of things. I'd use Lisp, and I'm like, you run into various languages in programming. I'd worked with some of the Microsoft stack before. I'd used ASP Classic and everything, and ASP.NET as well a little bit. I'd used VB, VB I'd done scripting in all kinds of different applications, and I'm mostly C Sharp now, but I still work in other things as well. I do Java, I do Python, I do JavaScript, just whatever comes around. I recommend to most people don't like box yourself into one language. You're probably going to change through your career. Yeah, exactly. uh, Guy, why don't you give a quick background, because yours is, I'm sure, weirder than mine.
So I started coding before the internet existed. Well, the internet existed, but the web certainly did not. And not in that, like, I remember when the web was brand spanking new, when I was in college. Like the World Wide Web standard had been created, and it was like, oh, I'm gonna install Linux so that I can run and surf the World Wide Web, because there wasn't a browser for anything except Windows, or for Linux yet, and it was just Lynx, which was a text-based browser. I started my career. I mean, I started coding in the early '80s when I was a kid on Commodore 64s and Commodore VIC-20s, and did a lot of that through high school. I went to college and actually got a job after I got out of college as a COBOL programmer of all things for a couple of years. And then I did a bunch of C++ after that, and then a bunch of Visual Basic and JavaScript and some Python. I've toyed around with some machine learning stuff using Keras and Python. I've touched a lot of things in my. I mean, I've been paid to write software for 30 years, and so I've been touching software since, well, it's 2022, or is it 2022? Yes, 2022
Yeah.
still. I'm 50 years old. I wrote my first line of code in 1982. So if I wanted to be like super pedantic, I could say that I've been coding for 40 years. But I really don't feel like those first 10 years count, because I wasn't paid. So my background is all over the place. One of these days we should do like a COBOL kata or something like that. That might be kind of fun and ridiculous. We force
Oh,
Brendan to learn
no,
COBOL.
no, 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 no. We're not touching COBOL. That's
Yeah,
that one's not gonna happen, Guy.
we
There's a lot of
actually.
stuff we can do.
I work for Redis, and one of the things we joked about shortly after I got hired was for April Fool's Day creating a Redis client in COBOL, because I'm probably the only person in the company that knows it.
Yeah, that's a terrible
and,
idea. But the best
but
advice
then,
that we can give for any new person is
yeah,
be open to switch languages, right?
that's the
Don't
point.
get
Yeah.
trapped in a thing, right? Like they're all good. Yes, Stool Penner. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. See, you awoke Stool Penner. Thanks, Guy. Now
We should do APL. That's the one with all the weird symbols.
we could do Lisp. That's the one with all the parentheses.
Yeah, these are my father's parentheses handed down to me from
Yes.
a
All
more
right.
elegant time. Yeah, a
Okay,
more
so
elegant programming language for a. What's that? Oh, I'm failing my nerd test here. I can't quote Star Wars accurately. Uh,
yes, for a more civilized age.
for a more civilized age. That's the
Yes.
line I'm looking for. Um, yeah,
Uh,
this is, it's just I'm old.
okay, so we need to make these things essentially reveal, right?
Yeah, so
So we revealed all, but we don't want to reveal all. Reveal all should just reveal. So
we
let's.
want to do that. We got reveal, and then we got that there. When you play Minesweeper, there's that thing where you can where you can click, and it will, like, it expands quickly. Are we going to do that, or are we just going to reveal one at a time?
I was gonna say let's have it.
Like it's got that cascading reveal when you click something, and if it's all zero, if all the things next to it are zeros, it reveals those as well, and then reveals.
Yeah, so we could let's start off by just revealing one, and then we can
Okay.
make it cascade if you hit a zero. Does that
Okay,
sound good?
that sounds good to me.
You learned Java,
Okay.
Python, and JavaScript and PHP at school, and then you switch to .NET. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the funny things is like what the language you use is it should be the one that people are willing to pay you to use. Like when everybody's like, "Oh, why do you use that?" Because people pay me to use it. Like, what do you what do you mean? Like, that's why developers use the languages they use. Someone's willing to pay them to use them.
Yeah, this is why I've never been paid to do anything in line number basic or 6502 assembly. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so we'll have it pass in cell and do this. And this becomes our reveal.
Ah, very clever. You're so smart.
My little cheating here.
That's not cheating. That's clever. And now we can. Now we don't need. We don't need the curly braces.
We don't technically need the curly braces if you're a monster.
So we can do this.
Guy's about to one-line us. I'm sorry, everybody.
Hang on.
He's doing it. It wasn't my fault. I didn't do it. It was Guy.
There we go. That's much better.
Yeah.
For varying values of better and much.
Yes. All right. So there we go. That should work. Let's confirm that it still does. First, I'm going to load the page, and then I'm going to uncomment reveal.
So I like to. Something I found myself doing lately in JavaScript, by the way, here. I just want to show this here.
So reveal still works, yeah.
I've been doing that. I find myself doing this, which is slowly turning JavaScript into Python.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's the funny thing is when everybody's like, blah, 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 such and such language I really like. And it's like, if you mean languages instead of like, frameworks, constructors, compilers, things like that, it's like, you know what? At the end of the day, all these languages are basically becoming the same language.
Back to the one line.
Actually,
I think the other one looks nicer.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, we point where we need to do
the way I would code it.
That's fine. Yeah. So there was a that is funny. Okay, so we can now reveal a cell. So do we want to just... And that is the HTML cell, right? So essentially, on the cell, we could just put a click method that calls this, right?
I have another one. You say, hang on. I'm going to do other things to make you twitch.
Are you going to ternary this? Yeah, you're ternarying it. Yeah.
It's actually a good candidate for it.
It's not bad for it, except that there is one problem, and that is that we need to do something extra in response to it being a bomb. No, it needed the is true. We needed the true.
Oh, because it's a string?
Because it's a string. Yeah, it is actually a string. So because that's a string, without converting that out of a string, false is true. Because JavaScript.
Well, yeah, we could coerce false to be... No, false in strings is falsy, or is truthy, and there's truthy and falsy. If you need to convert it to truthy or falsy, then you do that. Anyhow.
Okay.
I like the bang bang operator. It's necessary because of JavaScript.
Yeah.
But you're saying that this is a bad idea because we actually need to do something else. So let's undo it then.
Yeah, because we're gonna need to if they revealed a bomb, right? We need to end game. If the game is still going, right?
Yeah. So a reveal function doesn't do what it does. It isn't really reveal. It's
so let's make game 1, and we're gonna say game 1 equals false, right?
Where are you at here?
I'm up in the constructor.
Gotcha.
I made game 1 equals...
as in, not as in game 1 or game 2, but game 1 as in...
Yeah, I spelled it with a W. That makes sense. So essentially what I want to say is, if it's a bomb, and this dot game 1
We want
then
to go game
revealable.
lost.
I don't know. That's a good question, but here's what I was thinking. If it's true and the game is not won, then instead we put in an explosion or something,
Yeah.
and then that's when that I guess we could have game lost at that point, right? I
Well, then
guess
we say then game one becomes yeah. Um, that's why I
this
think
triggers a game over.
game over is actually the term I think we want.
Yeah, but
So,
this is a different thing, right? So
yeah.
here's my two conditions that I'm thinking about. Once you have revealed all of the non-bombs, we can reveal all the bombs
Yeah.
and say that the game is won. And you effectively won the game, right? But if you reveal everything, if you reveal and the game isn't already over, if you click one, because that's almost like our way of showing, right? To like
Yeah.
show you where the bombs were. Hey, you won, right? At
Okay.
the end. And then this is they
Yeah.
blow up.
So this should work then. Let me take a look at it here and see if we're still calling reveal all.
Yeah, which is fine. It should blow up, right?
When I click it,
Yeah.
I see all of the. Well, go ahead and show it
Yeah,
on
it,
screen for
it,
everyone else
it
to
did it
see.
on mine. It refreshes with all the bombs because the game is not won when we reveal all,
Right.
which is valid. We basically clicked every space, and that should make us lose. So that makes sense. So let's tell it to not reveal all. And now what we should be able to do is if every space has been revealed, then we should be good.
So we need a click handler is what we need.
Yes, we just need a click handler on the cell.
I think we do need to reveal all those so that when you lose the game, you can see see everything.
Yeah.
Because Minesweeper does do that.
Yep. That's once you win the game, it should reveal all the spaces. You should
Yeah.
reveal the bombs, and so that's when the game has won. Why don't I change it to game is won?
We are one with the game.
Game is won. And I guess maybe I could call it is game won or is game over.
Is game over? I think is probably good.
Yeah, but those are two different things, right? So we could keep
Yeah.
a game state, or we can have these two variables.
The two variables is the way to go here.
And they both, sort of solve the problem. The two variables or the state, either one will handle it. And then this should be this dot is game over equals true.
Yes.
No, not yes, true. Game has recently been won. Exact. Thank you, Wheatlaw. I'll put that in.
Yeah.
And yeah, Wheatlaw's correct with the stuff that he was mentioning in there. The big thing is just make sure that you've got a job as a programmer. Keep coding in stuff that you like. Switch when you want. Like, it's easiest to find a new job while you have one also.
Yeah. So we need to handle a click.
Yep. Let's handle clicks. I think we can do that inside of the creation of the cells, like up here.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So it'd be what? Oh, come on. It'd be cell dot. I always have to Google this.
Yep.
On event listener. Is it document dot on event listener? Document no.
Add event listener.
Add event listener.
Yeah,
that's right.
See, that's what Google's for. People were like, how do you remember this? It's like, you don't. You just know what to Google. You need to know it well enough to Google it.
Yeah. How do we code before Google? I remember. Then we got type of string is going to be on click or just click.
It's just click.
Yeah. And then we got a little arrow function for what to do with that. and then we'll say this dot reveal.
Can we not just put like a this route reveal in it? That's fine. Yeah, just put it in this way and then pass cell.
Yeah. And we can, there's no need, this is clear enough that we can one-line it.
Yes, that's what I think too. Yep. All right.
Let's see if that works. That might
I think it might
enough.
work. Yes. I think that may be enough. Let's try it. Hey. Okay. All right. Hang on. I need a number. Oh, there's the number. Hang on. Gotta be careful now. Gotta be careful now. But that should be safe. Oh, this should be safe. Hang on.
Click, though.
Well, all right. These should be safe. These should be safe. These are safe. Look at this. I'm playing Minesweeper like a champ right now.
Holy crap. It worked.
Look at this. Okay. This is probably a whole big site. Don't you wish we had the auto-revealing thing?
Just wish you'd hit Control Plus a couple times.
I can't mark that as a flag. But these 4 are all bombs.
Yeah, they clearly are. Can we do a, we need to mark it as a flag. We need a function for that. Let's do that.
Sounds good.
So to do that,
a right-click function would do fine.
And I think it's just going to be the on-click has a extra data associated with it. I think that's what the click event listener does. I don't think there's an on right-click.
I don't remember. I don't think there is one.
Because there's event information that you get in it, like this. Oh, sorry. No one else can see me coding.
No, because I'm busy playing Minesweeper. Look, I made Minesweeper. You want me to not play it? Hang on, how close are we? So somewhere in there. So it should be this one and this one. But this has to have 2, but that's going to have 2. This has only got 2. So one of these is not a bomb. And it's got to be the ones in the middle, right? Yeah, there we go. All right, we're safe so far, chat. We're safe. There can only be one here. Since it has to be in this one, there cannot be one here. And since that one is a bomb, there cannot be one here, which means there cannot be one there. Is that 10? That's 10. We're done. Boom. Victory in basic Minesweeper. Yay. All right. Where's Guy typing?
Right here. I
forget how to jump to you.
If you go to the live share panel on the left.
I got you, buddy.
So all I did was before the add event listener was just ignoring the past an event or arguments, and now I'm capturing it.
Yeah.
And I believe it's event dot. I think there's like a mouse button or something like that.
Event listener, click event. Maybe chat remembers.
But yeah, the click event has like a button property or something like that. I can go Google it.
Yeah, hang on.
Add event listener. Event mouse click. It's probably, I mean, I think it's a type click event. Add event listener to right click events. It's event.button.
All right, you got it? Yeah, no, not only, so I actually, I've been a proponent and educator in specifically the pair programming space for quite a few years. I can tell you the code you write with a partner is much, much better. So pair programming is very good. It makes you faster. The quality of the code is better. Not many companies do it because they have this crazy idea that the more lines of code, you can write more lines of code if you got 2 devs working on separate stuff.
I don't remember what the button values are, but
so you're gonna just log them out? Yeah.
I'm just gonna log them out. Yeah. And
well, the only one I got was it didn't capture my right clicks.
Yeah, it's not doing that for me either.
Also, I
The
game
left,
overed right here.
yeah, yeah. Well, 0 is the left button.
Sweet.
You
Capture, right click HTML. Thank you, Internet. We're going to not be able to do our right click to get the inspect tool up. Wait, what? Stack Overflow is currently offline for maintenance? What?
Well, the stream's done. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Look, chat. Stack Overflow's down.
That's a 5-word tech horror. My Stack Overflow is actually responding.
Okay, maybe it's not every instance that's down.
Um,
Oh, it's on
2 is,
mouse down instead of click, I think. That's what we want.
yeah, so we want mouse down, and then we want 0 or 2, because 2 is the right mouse button, and 0, it's just mouse down.
Oh, yeah, because it's not the ons for these events.
Yeah.
And then
we can say, yeah, well,
yeah, we just need to
ahead.
if the event button, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna run it and see.
It still pops up the context menu, which I totally don't want. But yeah, it's if event.button is 0, then
Well, I think can't we? Don't we? Can you pass like a false or true, or which thing says to continue with the
I
thing?
think it's return false. There's a way to say don't bubble up.
I think is it that? Hang on.
You may need to prevent default behavior, and there's a link to that. Oh, you call event.prevent defaults. So it's like this.
Thank you.
And then we can, in here, we can say if
It's still doing it on mine.
I haven't tried it on mine. Equal to 0, then do one thing. Else, if event.button equals 2, then do a different thing. Let's see if that does what we want. Yeah, that totally didn't work.
Yeah.
I think we.
I forget what it is.
I think we need to do. Oh, you passed in false as well. I think we need to do both of those.
Okay. I forget if it's true or false.
False is. I'm looking at a blocking default click handling on Mozilla.org, developer.mozilla.org, and they've got an add event listener, which is click, and then a function, and then false, and then they also call it prevent default. So I think you got to do both of those things. There's probably like my guess is that the functions you have to call. Let's see what the arguments are. My guess is there's a do default behavior always sort of thing. Like that's what the arguments are. And then if you pass false in there, it says don't do the default, do what I tell you to do. It's my guess. Just do what I tell you to do. That's the do what I tell you to do argument. And it didn't work.
Okay, add event listener.
Yeah, we're calling prevent default. We are doing that.
All right, I copy pasted just to make sure we hadn't typoed it.
Okay. Had we?
No, it looked right. But I was like, let's just check this, make sure. All right, what's the... So there are options properties that we may need to set.
Yeah.
Uh, let's try capture.
Okay, so it's use capture.
Is it use capture or is it capture? I saw them both in the options, but I scrolled past it. So I'm going to say capture equals true.
Yeah, try that.
All right, now we have it in there. Let's go ahead and refresh the page again. Nope.
It actually should just be true, not capture true.
Really? Just put in the word true?
Yeah. Well, we were just putting in false before.
Well, that doesn't seem to do it at all.
Yeah, none of this is working. Well, it's possible we have no idea what we're doing.
Okay. Internet.
Yeah, I'm interneting too.
Internet. Add event listener for context menu, prevent default false. Let's
So
do
we got to
that.
add it.
Add event listener for context menu. We're going to make event, and default false. And then this, we're going to have mouse down. If this equals this, else do that.
We might be able to do click there then.
I don't remember. Does click handle right click?
Well, we'll test it out. But this should, if we can get rid of the annoying, right, and then we don't need a function here. We can say event. You can use an arrow function.
Crash.
Like that.
That crashed us. Oh, maybe you had something in the middle.
Yeah, sorry. So I add, that'd be cell.add event listener.
Yep. Thank you.
And then we just take the event, and we actually don't need the parentheses.
Okay, cool.
We just have a simple argument.
Nice thing is my alert thing popped up without a context menu, so we're good. So this can now be flag cell.
Right. Can we? Will click work there as well as mouse down?
Maybe. Try it.
Yeah, let's try it.
That one triggers, but I'm not getting errors about no, this flag not existing.
Yeah, I think it does have to be mouse down then.
Yeah. Now I get the error when I do it. So mouse down will work.
Yeah.
So we can't click it. Then maybe there's something we could add to tell it to do that, but this works, so let's go from here.
Fun. I was just curious if click would work or not. So yeah, we've turned off context menu. We've added a mouse down. We need to implement a.
I'm working on flag now.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, and what I want to do is I want to disable the ability to click when it's flagged. But we're not going to have an undo for now, so you're going to lose the ability to click when it's flagged.
I don't think we need to do that, actually. You know, if you want to click on your flagged thing, then
it'll reveal. Okay, we can do that. That's fine.
Yeah. I think that's perfectly acceptable behavior.
So we're just saying cell inner text equals flag.
And that's all it does, yeah.
Literally all we're doing?
Yeah. That's all it needs to do. I think that's probably all the emojis we need. Like, I don't think we actually need the emoji comments that we have anymore.
Because we're using them somewhere?
Yeah, because we've used them all.
Okay.
Okay. Let's play another game. Play another round.
Hey,
I'll watch you do it on
I can flip a.
When I look to my right, that means I'm looking at.
Guy, look what I'm doing. I can flip back and forth.
Oh,
Isn't
by
that
clicking
great?
it?
Yeah.
You
So I
click and
can,
then right click and then. I suppose if it's already been revealed, you probably don't want to be able to flag it in that case.
yeah. So after reveal, we need to disable the event listener.
Yeah, you
So
shouldn't be able to
can
click on it at all after it's been revealed. So, okay,
can we
let's do
just
that.
say remove event listener? Is that what it
Probably.
is?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Uh,
Remove
remove
event listener.
event
Yep, that's what it
listener.
is. And one so okay, so we would only be removing one. So we want to remove the mouse down, right?
Oh,
Does that sound right to you? Mouse down? Except I typoed it.
hang on. Does add event listener return a listener? Because
Um,
remove. Oh. Because remove event listener needs the type and a listener that we're removing, because you can add multiple listeners to an event. So just calling remove isn't going to be enough. No, Docker, I do not want to update right now.
so we put them in as
Well, they're functions that are passed in, and we used arrow functions.
yeah, exactly. Because we used arrow functions, our functions don't exist.
Well, they exist.
Thanks, Wheatlow. We're making copy pasta. We don't need the sauce.
Hey, boss, you want I should use an anonymous asynchronous lambda? I guess these aren't asynchronous, but still, they're anonymous lambdas.
When you have an event listener, you can always get the calling object, right?
Is there a remove all event listeners?
Maybe, but the thing I'm wondering about is, do you get the
When you call add, do you get like a reference that you can reference?
yeah, the object that receives a notification, the object that implements the event, it's the listener. Uh, that's the handle event.
Add event listener returns undefined. Can you query event listeners? Get event listeners.
Well, technically, if you wanted to do it, it could be in the cell meta, but that's just silliness.
Yeah. I'm not. Is there a way to get like a list of all the event listeners? And then we can just, because we know that we have one.
Hang on. Revealed equals false.
You just want to make the event listener smarter.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the reveal method, and no matter when you reveal, instead of removing the event listener, we're just gonna say cell dataset revealed equals true. And then if you try to flag a true one, it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So how's that spaghetti, Wheatwall?
I mean, it's still spaghetti.
Not too
See?
bad.
It's like spaghettiing. No! Didn't catch it. Cell data revealed equals true. Oh, hang on. Maybe that needs to be a string.
It probably needs to be a string on line 101 as well. Actually, mostly on line 101. The assignment doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no way it would have been true. Yeah, the assignment didn't matter. You're right. Because it would have put it in that way regardless. Hey, there we go. Now I can't flag them.
Cool.
But I can still flag the regular ones. And I can still reveal a flag if I realize I made a mistake. Then I can keep playing after I blow up, see? Just like in regular Minesweeper. You get me the... I'm getting you the spaghetti, Wheatlow. We're getting it ready. All right, that looks good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna comment. I'm gonna delete the comment of
Yeah, you can
emojis.
toss out our like emoji samples.
Yeah, and then this, of course, this build board function is a monstrosity.
Yeah, it needs some fixing. It is a little squirrely.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
I actually think we have enough going on with a cell at this point
to
that
make
a cell class might be justified at it. You know what I mean?
in our cell meta, you're thinking.
Yeah, yeah. Our cell metadata, we because we got the grid meta. There's a lot of
I think grid
logic that's
meta.
strewn.
Yeah, so I think grid meta should have a cell object that has some data, so we're not relying on it being the data set in the HTML object for it.
Yeah,
I think we should have the HTML object, but I don't think that we should be leveraging the data properties the way that I am.
yeah,
Because I tossed that in because I was like, yeah, that's something we can see on the page and just check and verify.
yeah.
But now that we can reveal it, I don't think we need it in the HTML. Plus, you know, everybody's going to care so much about this game, they're going to be cheating.
Right, right, right.
Everybody's going to. So we can't have that data just visible.
Well, and then the reveal method ends up being going on the cell, and then all this logic that we have about whether we should allow it to do things or not, and the property sets, they all
Yes.
happen when we
It can
reveal
all
a
be
cell as
inside of
opposed.
the cell object. Yeah.
Yeah, and then build board is just a matter of creating a bunch of cells.
Okay.
More or less, and some HTML. Although arguably the cell might be responsible for creating its own HTML. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
So the couple of things I was thinking of on this, there is we could keep track of the number of mines so that people know how many there are that are supposed to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
And reduce it by the number that are flagged, essentially doing some of the meta game, content stuff, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to put those in?
I think we need to refactor before we go down that path.
Okay, do we want to make a
I'm
cell
actually
object then? Or we
I'm
bailing?
looking I'm looking at the clock and I'm feeling my stomach.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. We can wrap around here.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good breaking point. This is this is almost like a actually this is a good spot to stop because I always like to stop at a crappy location in my code. Like if I stop and everything's nice and neat and tidy, and then I come to my code 2 weeks later and I'm like, what the hell was I working on? What do I need to do here? And I spend 2 hours looking at my code figuring out what I'm doing. But if I leave my code in a messy place, or if I if I leave with a failing test, like I've got a bunch of unit tests that last test is failing, yeah. I write a test that fails before I finish for the day. That way, when I come in first thing in the morning, I see that failed test and it pulls all the context of what I was working on back into my brain. And then it helps me think about what I need to focus on. Whereas if I leave everything nice and neat and tidy, I come in the next morning and it's like a tabula rasa, and I don't know where to begin. And so when we come in next time and look at this code, we'll look at this build board and say, ugh, and then it will remind us of, oh yeah, that's right, we were going to clean up this mess that we made. We were going to deny Wheatlaw his spaghetti. That was the plan.
Yes, that is a good idea. And we can decide whether we want to do something like playwright or something like that. Yeah, no pasta for Wheatlaw. We can decide if we want to set up like a playwright or something like that to run our tests of this program. Because the way we created it, like we can maybe put some like we could go set up a node application that grabs these JavaScript classes and stuff like that, and leverages some of this so that we can get some unit tests on the classes if we want. But I also think it would be worthwhile to just have a program that spins it up and clicks through a game, right? Not intelligently, right? We're not like, that's not the AI playing the game, because obviously anybody can write a simple program that just through simple procedures can solve Minesweeper, right? Minesweeper's not complicated. That's why it's more interesting to train something to do it than to just, because otherwise you could just be like, click a spot. Okay, did it have a number? Like, was it a blank? Cool, get everything around it. Get everything around it. Get everything around it. Oh, it's like, there has to be a bomb. You can logic that there has to be a bomb there. Okay, that means that that's the one for the ones, and get everything around the one now. And it's like, I mean, that's effectively what they're like. I don't know if you played Minesweeper and center click. That's what that did. I found out many years after I've been playing that you could like click the center click and it would like tell you the things that were clear, and it's just weird. Anyway, I thought it was kind of fun. So yeah, I agree. We can stop here. I'll either just save this on my computer, or maybe I'll commit it and send it up to a repo somewhere, so that we can take a look at it.
Let's throw it up on GitHub. That way, Wheatlaw can have the spaghetti that he wants.
Yeah, I'll toss it up on GitHub, and we can use it. We can reference it next time. And,
I store all my GIFs on GitHub.
Yeah. You store your GIFs on GitHub?
I store my GIFs on GitHub. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we all went and got the Deb should love emote. Awesome. Yeah, jitter done. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I drink my gin, and we use JIT on GitHub.
Yeah, I have my gin and tonic.
Yeah. You know your friend George?
Jorge?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, yes, we work in JavaScript.
JavaScript, yeah.
Yes.
And that's GuavaScript. Yeah, that's different.
Hey, hello,
Guava.
Hello, Schmakey. Not sure if Schmash. If I butchered your name, I apologize. But welcome. Hey. Yes. Oh yeah. Sorry, Katrina. Luckily, there is a recording, so if you missed some of this episode, check it out. We did some fun stuff. We got it working. There was a little bit of head against wall, but hey, that's how development works. So for any of the beginners in here, that is totally normal in programming. You're going to be banging your head against the wall working on stuff. Literally everybody does it. Just Google and know what to look for. So cool. Cool. So Guy and I are going to try to sync up on some other streams in the future. Stuff that we're probably going to be working on is some more of this. We want to get it to the point where it's ready for us to try and point some machine learning at it and see if we can make something solve this nicely. And then the other thing that we were talking about, that we haven't picked our next data structure yet. So Guy and I did a series a while back. There's a playlist on YouTube that you can watch. Just look for our inefficient data structures in JavaScript from Dev Chatter on there, and you'll find videos of me and Guy basically being idiots and creating structures you don't even need in JavaScript, like our hash table, when all the objects in JavaScript are basically hash tables anyway. But hey, it was fun to build. So if you want to know more about that kind of stuff, check it out. Most of the stuff you're actually going to find on my channel is not JavaScript. Most of the stuff you'll find on my channel is going to be C#, but I have fun with all the languages because they're all awesome. So, all right, let's go ahead and wrap the stream. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. I'm hoping that we see you in our next stream doing something fun. Be sure to give Guy follows. If you're still on Twitter, Guy is on Twitter. I'm also on Twitter and Mastodon and all the other stuff. I'm usually this name, although for my like dev content stuff, it's Dev Chatter, which is where you'll find us on Twitch and YouTube. And yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Guy, say some stuff. Thank you. Excellent.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much, if you type my name into Google, you'll find me. So, follow me on all the things you care to follow me on.
Yep. Guy is awesome. If you didn't get that from watching this stream, so. All right.
I don't know that this stream demonstrated that, but okay, let's make gas look good.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.